Imagine waking up, scrolling through TikTok, and suddenly you're knee-deep in a digital war between South Africans and Americans, duets flying, stitches roasting, comment sections on fire. No, it's not World War III. It's the great TikTok beef of 2025. And trust me, it's been sizzling hotter than a Johannesburg summer and spicier than Nashville hot chicken.
Africa is angry at foundational Black Americans because they know what we're capable of. I've already assessed your entire country. We have resources in abundance, whereas in Africa, they don't have.
Four things. She referred to Africa as a country. She says that America is so full of resources, that resources in abundance. That's why the people of Africa are mad at Black Americans. She also mentioned the manufacturing industry and how Africans are mad at Black Americans because of this power, this manufacturing power, and also that Africans who go to America are fed of lies. If she truly was aware of American economy and how it relates to global affairs, she would have known where the resources that America used for production come from. She would have known why there is official record of the CIA being involved in many coup d'etat throughout Africa to put in place leaders who are easily accessible and easy to manipulate by the Western world and by America. This is not even things that I'm making up. This is official record on the internet, easy to access. Africans being in need of Americans in this power and therefore being mad at Black Americans, I don't see the correlation between that, but anyway. If anything, Africa is looking up to the white man. Oops. If anything, Africa is looking up to the person who dragged him to what later on becomes the global economy and told him that this was the universal way of measuring development. Africa is very aware of how its resources and its societies have been used to push advancement in those countries. So if anything, our focus is on them, not on you. Decentralize yourself. Decentralize yourself.
What the fuck is wrong with South Africans and entitlement?
So I think it's safe to say that we all know why it is that she used South Africans and did not single out a specific race or person. But we also know that it's probably like Steve or Peter or something. We know that, right? But I find it very interesting that you guys have now gone and you have now exported your racism to other countries. I don't think that it's correct that you guys are now embarrassing us on a global scale. Like, I know that it's been happening. I don't think we all know to which extent. Maar kan jy ons nie skande steek in ander countries nie? Can you at least keep your racism here where we can all deal with you because we at least understand?
Zulu parade situation has made me start seeing that Black Americans should not be allowed to identify as African Americans if they're not willing to put in the work to uphold African dignity, African traditions, and African culture. Because honestly speaking, a lot of Black Americans actually don't care about Africa, right? Black Americans only associate with Africa when it's trending, right? When it's in fashion. That's what they do. They use Africa as a costume to make themselves look cool.
Everyone is finally being honest. Africans do not want Black people in America to call themselves African American. They never did. They do not associate with you like that. They don't bang with you like that. I remember one time I was in an Uber and an African man, I can't remember what country he came from. He said, "Why do you allow them all to call y'all African American? You're not African." A man from the continent told me that. And ever since then, this was years ago, but even before that, I always identified, with my American roots. Like, I call myself melanin rich. I don't even really like the term Black, but I understand it's a social construct. I get it. It's cultural. I get it. So this man is basically saying we don't deserve to call ourselves African American because we don't stand up for Africans. We don't help them. We're not building up the continent. And then he went into talking about the Zulu parade. And that took place in New Orleans. First of all, I don't think that they understand that there's like subsets of like different ethnicities within a Black American culture because they don't understand that each state is like a country. Like people can't conceive of that. So what's going on in New Orleans has absolutely nothing to do with a Black person in Harlem, has absolutely nothing to do with a Black person in Inglewood. We literally we're the same. We have a commonality, but we have different, style. It's so beautiful to see. And they don't stop identifying yourself as African American. That's all I got to say. I mean, do what you want, but they clearly know who's who. They've always told you that you're not one of them. And I always pose the question, how many generations does it take for you to be from a certain place? For you to have roots in a place? If we want to go by the indoctrinated version of history, how long does your family, does your lineage have to reside in a country, a continent, to be from there? How long? Baby, you American. We're melanin. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
South Africans need Black Americans. I mean, I guess we are sorry, but as a country, we have a question. Please answer and substantiate your answer for us. Is your hair beginning or ending? Is your hair starting or finishing? Is your hair still downloading? Is this the before? And when do we come back for an after? I mean, I understand why your hair is not growing on your head. It's embarrassed to be seen with you, as I would. But also, why would we need a country where the only thing they are good at is having an education system where children have to dress in bulletproof vests so they can get a subpar education and still not be able to read a map? The same country where someone's life expectancy, if they are not white, is determined by the mood of a police officer and the color of the police officer that stops them on that particular day, and they still don't get justice. The same country that doesn't respect women or their rights. The same country that ostracizes people who are legally in their country. The same country that can't even determine who is the president in their own country because there are people who somehow feel that there's a conspiracy that they can't back. The same country, babes, we can go on and on and on and on. America is only good in movies, that's it. But we are grateful that our Taylor, South African born, global sensation, Taylor, was able to give your cousin an opportunity to pay rent, because as per your own admission, your cousin got the opportunity to dance background for our South African. So who needed who? We will wait for that answers. We look forward to them.
What's your country's biggest flex on the rest of the world?
Don't know English.
You
Your
don't know.
spirit is half naked.
You hesitate, Spang, and I hesitate. If you hesitate, I go back.
We only once hesitate.
And when I gave birth, you gave birth, Spang, in your long legs.
When
your soul
go
is
out
God.
of your intestines of your mother.
And your lungs of your mother go back, and I gave birth. You go back, your mother.
Your mother, my foot is
your head is my leg.
Like a cross.
No, because you know English. You horseshoe. You horseshoe. Your horseshoe. And I back hesitating because of books.
And I tie myself before you.
You and I go cut. If you cut yourself, I cut myself in front of you, in front of everyone.
Don't know
in front.
Now.
Don't know. If I go, you go. No. You. If I school, you school. If I don't, you don't. If I English, you English too. You English too. If I school, you school. And my back is shake, and who you follow?
And your
surprise. You follow me.
Because it's crossed.
You follow me for the what? For the what?
Like my feet.
And what do this mean? What do this mean is Bangadin?
Don't know English, don't know you.
Don't know you.
For
don't
who?
know you.
For
and
who?
You don't know me.
Don't know English.
For
the what?
Who is
For
you?
the what?
Who is you? Because I don't. I don't.
Okay, listen, speaking as a South African, I think I can speak for a lot of us, maybe all of us, when I say, please don't send Elon Musk back. Also, please don't judge us by him. We all have that, really weird, kind of messed up member of the family. You know what I mean? Every family's got that one nephew, you know, or that like dodgy uncle that comes to dinner, you know, and always like lingers a little too long on the hello kiss. Do you know what I'm saying? We all have that one dodgy member of the family. Elon Musk is South Africa's dodgy member of the family. He's like the uncle that you really don't want to invite to Christmas, but you kind of have to. Please keep him. America, you can keep him, or you can send him somewhere else, but like we don't really want him back here. Thank you. Thanks so much. Mzansi says hi.
Seems like South Africa is following in the footsteps of Burkina Faso and Niger and Senegal. They have ordered the American ambassador to South Africa to leave with immediate effect. That's right, South Africans' balls are growing. And you know what? South Africa has now more powerful friends. And we never thought that would live to see the time that an African country would take on America. The thing is, what is US aid? What is US aid to South Africa? Mainly nefarious stuff. Yes, they may give a few, tablets for HIV clinics and stuff like that. But you know what? With all the minerals and diamonds and all of that South Africa produces, they will very easily afford all of that stuff. Do the land distribution. Stand your ground, South Africa, because you know what? Times are changing. Times are changing. We never thought we'd live to see the day when an African country would stand up to imperialists. Interesting times.
What's one thing that pisses you off about Americans?
What I find frustrating about America is Americans really believing that they are the center of the universe and that there is nothing other than America. I had an American friend in South Africa recently and he tried to pay in dollars. And I said, no, you're in a different country.
You know what? I can't really fight that because I do think that America is the greatest country in the world, even though we have all of these problems. But, I mean, that comes with a fault. Because then you see people that are just so arrogant and ignorant and think that everybody else cares about our problems. No, they don't. And you don't need to push our ideology on other countries that are totally fine living the way that they have for centuries. Like, that's the part that I get upset about. Like, this person said, I'm American and it pisses me off too. So many Americans don't or can't think beyond the borders. Somebody else said America needs to be humbled. In many ways, yes. But also, we still won that war. So I will still be arrogant sometimes.
South Africans, are y'all okay? Firstly, I think there is a huge ass.
Listen, I'm from Louisiana, so yeah, I wanted to talk about this because what the fuck? Okay, I want y'all to hear this video. If you didn't stay this long enough, hit this video right quick, and then I'm gonna say what I feel.
South Africans, are y'all okay? Firstly, I think there is a huge aspect of education that is missing here. Yes, African Americans as a whole are Black Americans, correct? But within the United States of America, each state has their own culture.
She's not lying. Each state has something that sticks out from their state that makes their state known for whatever it is the state is known for. Why do a lot of people, including different cultures, at the end of the day, I don't know why people say this and that. Culture is definitely important because it's almost like an idea of who you are, but it don't change the fact that we're all Black at the end of the day. But let me let y'all finish listening to this.
And they have their own Black culture. So Texas is not the same as Louisiana, is not the same as California, is not the same as Nashville, and so on and so forth. So for y'all to find out about an offensive name to a festival in Louisiana, in New Orleans, Louisiana specifically, and for y'all to turn around and attack Black Americans as a whole, when we literally found out about the name of this festival right when you guys did, is absolutely crazy. Y'all were saying, hey, this is offensive because there's actually a Zulu tribe and X, Y, and Z, and educating. Y'all aren't doing any of that. Y'all are coming straight for the big gun. And while it is kind of crazy to see the real vitriol and hate that South Africans have for Black Americans, am I surprised? No, not really. Talking about the country that bred Elon Musk. We're talking about the country whose own Miss South Africa is a white woman.
Y'all don't worry about how I look. I'm currently about to get ready to do my hair, but at the end of the day, I feel like, where is this hate coming from? It gotta be hate that's been stemmed. And when I say been, I mean been, like long time ago. There's definitely signs, because why would y'all just come for the whole Black community? If you didn't like something about how, something was named or something like that, why you didn't just speak on that?
You chose to just go for the big guns like the young lady said. And have y'all forgotten that we do have ancestors and things are passed down for generations and generations. Some people, family members from generations and generations ago, actually comes from Africa and taught their families certain things and certain names that they stick to. And even though it's in America, that's why some people use the names or the terms or some certain thing. I don't even know why I'm explaining this, because y'all kind of already know that. Y'all just choose to look at it and divide it like y'all want to. I swear to God, Black Americans don't never mess with no fucking body. We got a smart mouth and we gonna speak our mind, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying that we perfect. We all have flaws. But it's always us for some reason. Now why, even South Africans, literally, really? I'm not gonna even cap. Like, I'm not gonna say all of y'all, but I didn't met a few or just walking past a few and they act weird towards Black Americans. I know that people that whitewash shit and set these stereotypes about Black people, but if you actually look through the history and see what we went through and still go through today and how hard we have to fight to pass amongst those stereotypes, you would understand that not all Black people is like that. It's just the situation that they're in and the stuff that they have to be around until they can make it or get up out of the hood or whatever you want to call it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm tired of keep talking about the same shit about something that people already know. If you don't like us, you just don't like us. But always want to look up our trends and all of this shit and all of that. It just don't make sense to me. Like, we don't bother nobody. We literally always try to find a way to love each and every fucking race. But it's always something being divided with our race, something being talked about with our race, being divided, being thug, being on food stamps, being loud, being too much. It's always too much of nothing. So I am to the point to where I am done. I'm fucking with the people that fuck with me. It's all love here until you don't got love for me at the end of the day, because people be fake as fuck. They be wearing masks. Like, it's so fucking weird, bro.
You go to South Africa, white people are calling themselves Africans and they don't even look it. That's some gangster shit, don't you think? I'm from South Africa. No, you're not. You're Dutch. You just didn't know when the fuck to leave.
Okay, first it was the Americans need South African situation, and now it's this. I'm getting tired of this. So, white South Africans are African. Yes. What, you shocked now? You shocked? Yes. White South Africans are African. Let me tell you why. Let me explain something. This is my reason why. Okay? If you are born in South Africa, no matter what race you are South African. Meaning you are African. So I just want you to understand that if you say white South Africans are not African, then that's like you saying African Americans aren't African. Yeah, that's how it sounds to me. That's how it sounds to me. So I hope you know, African is multiracial nowadays.
And to you South Africans, as a Black American, because I don't even know if I could say African American, I feel like y'all would just love for us to take the African off of African American. In the words of Joe Jackson, we should have never fed your ass for 25 cents a day.
That you can report them to, then they can start getting deported. Now their asses is okay.
So guys, you mean to tell me that this lady can report South Africans to the South African authorities so that we can get deported? I'm sorry. No, like I didn't mean it. It just came out. Miss Ma'am, I'm going to tell you this, and while I'm telling you, I'm holding your hand. Come here. Okay? Because I need to hold your hand while telling you this. Listen to me. South Africans, I am South African. South Africans will drag you to a bottomless hell. Don't come for them. At this point, you need to stop. Even if you go into the dictionary now, search up Udom. Udom. You will see your face there. You need to stop. This is embarrassing. Yo.
Guys, I can't move to America. I'm sorry. I was just Googling and they don't have this thing. You know this one? Drinko Pop. You know this one? Drinko Pop. They don't have it there in America. They only got Kool-Aid. I already have Kool-Aid, my bra. Sasa's quite cool, bro. If you didn't grow up taking this one, biting it like this, and putting your tongue in there, you're not a South African. Don't even come with that. And if I don't have this in America, I'm not going. You guys must then send me away and send me packets of this all the time. Thank you.
Black Americans don't have no culture. Why is the YNs over in South Africa wearing
So Timberlands were made by a white man named Nathan Swartz, if you didn't know. And Jordans were designed by Peter Moore, who's also a white man. Let me show you what your culture is. So basically, your culture comes from white people and it's made in China. Then it makes its way to you. What a shame.
Why? I deserve an apology. When I came down those stairs, you did not address me. You're not getting one. No. Well, okay, you ladies. Okay, ladies.
I don't apologize because I never make, mistakes.
Get your asses upstairs and change. Come on.
Yes, Black Americans are the blueprint of Black people, honey. Get it together.
And this is why when people say you look American, it could never be a compliment. Because this girl just said, Black Americans are the blueprint of Black people. How? When you literally get BBLs to look like African women, it doesn't make any sense. Number 2, y'all didn't popularize Tyler actually. She's very authentic. Every interview she goes to, her accent is potent. And people ask her, where is this girl from? South Africa. She popularized herself. You just mad that she's famous. Number 3, Tyler's Challenge Water was popular in South Africa and y'all decided to participate in a South African trend and now you mad because it went viral? The same way you're trying to do that sana ni na dance with the shoulder and you're not even doing it properly because it was a family thing and you decided to participate. You're like doing this thing of taking African ideas, bedazzling them and putting a twist and then wanting to name them American so that you can say you're the blueprint. You are not the blueprint. A lot of your ideas already exist in Africa. You'll just switch it up and call it culture. I think the word she was looking for is influential. So that means you influence people into wanting to do the same things as you. But blueprint means I came up with the idea, which is kind of crazy. An example of this is them wearing locks and putting a lot of beads on and waist beads and skirts and calling it the Earth Girl aesthetic. You just look like an upcycled, colorful sangoma, if we're being for real. Y'all are the one diaspora that tries so hard to separate yourselves from your own people. And I understand it's probably out of trauma. But if you don't want to associate yourself with African and Caribbean people, that's cool since you think being American is such an achievement. At the end of the day over there, they can still kill you for your skin color since you think that's a trophy. But here in the motherland, you're always welcome. So the hate is one-sided, not from our side.
Hey, South Africa, I need y'all to know that the average Black American was not checking for y'all. We found out about the Zulu parade when you found out about the Zulu parade, okay? We're not from New Orleans, and it's not a part of the whole Black American culture. It's part of the New Orleans culture, all right? But I also need y'all to understand that when y'all get to picking and talking about our ancestors, baby, that's where we draw the line. We real sensitive about our motherfucking ancestors, baby. So I advise y'all to keep it cute, keep it about the Zulu parade, have your say, and sit the fuck down, all right? Fair warning.
Sipping on my real tea because the tea on my For You page is piping hot. And when I mean the tea on my For You page, so my For You page has been flooded with the beef between our original OG Zulu Nation and the so-called Halloween party that took place in New Orleans. I think it was a week ago or something like that. My For You page is full of this all over as I scroll from one video to the next. And this is like proper battle. I've never seen battle like this. I'm not even talking about the videos. The comments of how united a nation can actually be. And not just a nation, not just South Africa, but the whole of Africa as one. And it's, listen, some of you are really sharp with your comebacks. I saw a video of a lady saying that at 10 to 12 at night, she can walk in the streets with a hoodie on. I was crying with laughter. I was having because the slap back, amazing to see how a nation can stand together. But I've got questions. On a serious note, I've got questions. So when we refer to the Black American nation, they call themselves or refer to as themselves as African Americans. But I wonder, when you have the word African in your name, or as if you refer to yourself as African, whether you know the history of Africa, where you come from, what the culture is, what the traditions are, the food. I'm not talking about South Orleans tradition or culture. I'm talking about the Black African cultures that we get the honor to learn when we are in school. From small, we are taught about African history and where our cultures and our traditions originated, where it came from. And it's not a pretty story. It's not a heartwarming story to tell or to learn. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, it's cruel. And if we take the history coming to where we are now into 2025 as South Africans, there are still so much emotions attached to history. That are on one another's cultures, we fight for every single day. And I'm talking about white South Africans and our Black South Africans. I know that in America they were also victims to slavery all those years ago. But to take a culture and not do your research and claim that culture is your own and offend so many Africans, specifically the Zulu tribe, and think that and have that entitlement to still carry on and still claim it as your own. There's people saying that in America they have women who practice voodoo, not knowing that witchcraft was born in South Africa. I saw another video and it's so accurate. Is they're threatening with voodoo, but we've got Limpopo. Which is so accurate. It's so accurate. We literally have an airport in KwaZulu-Natal named after the King Shaka International Airport. Now I have another question. Seeing that New Orleans has decided to have this Halloween party called the Zulu Festival, why were none of the original OG Zulus invited? Where were they? Because if you're having a festival in honor of the Zulu culture, how come the OG Zulu nation was not invited to your festival? Because it is in celebration of them, is it not? And why was the Zulu king not there? Because you're honoring the king. How do you have a festival and not have the OG Zulu nation there, but you want to claim it as your own? So the Americans think that everything is a festival and everything is just happy-go-lucky, and only they have been through the harshest of harsh moments, not realizing that our African brothers and sisters have been through the most and are still going through the most. And their culture is not just a party or a joke or anything. It's serious, and they take their culture and their traditions and their people, they take it seriously. So if they get offended and they clap back, sure, just know that you have literally declared war with the South African nation. Because if our Zulu nation is going to be attacked, you have got the whole of South Africa on your backs. And good luck to that, because we are ruthless when it comes to our people. We can fight with each other because we're allowed to fight with each other, but you can't fight with us. No, you can't fight with us.
So I've been watching the South Africa versus America debates flying and the insults and all of that. And one thing that I find very interesting is the hypocrisy of Black Americans, because they believe that they have the right to go ahead and have this Zulu parade, and they have an explanation for why it's okay for them to go and have this, because it's part of the New Orleans history and etc. But they also don't understand why South Africans are mad about how the Zulu people, the Zulu culture is being portrayed in a way that has got absolutely nothing to do with the Zulu people. And they, they find it insulting. And Americans don't understand why that's insulting, and they don't have a problem with it. And they have been insulting South Africans for days. They went ahead, they had their parade, yay. But the hypocrisy that I see comes in when I think of how Cynthia Erivo said this. And Black Americans were mad as if, to the point of wanting to cancel her. And this was something that she said 13 years ago. 13 years ago today, so many Black Americans have said that they will not watch anything that she stars in. They will not watch Wicked. They will not watch whatever, anything that she does. Whenever she shows up on a stage with an award or whatever, they're full of nothing good to say to her, all because of that. Which, in my view, was not even an insult. It was not even something that is so bad that required somebody to be cancelled. But because of their hypocritical nature, they believe that they are entitled to be upset with how they are portrayed by people of other cultures, but are not bothered by how people feel about how they are portraying their culture. That's kind of odd to me, and I have no beef with Americans. I am Team South Africa for this one, but I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy in their attack on Cynthia Erivo, yet they are doing something 10 times worse to a whole culture of people. And I think in future, if I ever see a Black American person having any negative thing to say about Cynthia Erivo, I'll definitely remind them of how they portrayed Zulu people and the Zulu culture in their Zulu parade in New Orleans.
South Africans. Why y'all got these people talking to me? I've been noticing a lot of them been in my comments talking to me because of y'all. So this is what y'all do. So when y'all get in trouble, y'all hide behind them. Because y'all look at them as a god. And they know that. He know that. What he's saying right here, they say the same exact thing out here. They don't care about y'all. Let me read what he said. I don't care if my fellow South African is black or white, pink, or whatever color. You try and touch them, I will stand with any of them. Americans can't stand together. South Africans in America, they say the same thing. They say, I don't see color. We are all the same. We all bleed red. I will stand with you, brother. That's what they say to us. But they turn around and be on these jewelry pools and sentence people that didn't do nothing wrong. They'll let the police, you know them jokes y'all be making about the police? That same man will be on the jury saying that that police was justified in unliving one of y'all. But y'all don't peep that. I see that. I play past all that. He don't care for y'all. You think he gonna stand for y'all? He don't stand for y'all right now in y'all own country. He talking about America not united. Okay, whatever. Black Americans are united. We are united. We don't need them. To have him speak for y'all and he's speaking to me, that lets me know he talked to y'all any kind of way where he is in South Africa. I know he do the fool to black folks out there. I know he do. I seen it. I seen people just like him do dirty things to black folks. And he gonna do the same thing to y'all. The same playbook that they playing on y'all, they did that to us almost 40, 50 years ago. Now we just peep the play. I haven't threatened y'all. I haven't done none of that. But y'all got this dude talking to me. This dude. This who y'all worship for real. Y'all proved my point this whole time. I just didn't have any physical proof on my page where they would come on my comments. But now y'all got them feeling comfortable talking to me. Talking to me. I would never have a YT person from my country talk crazy y'all in my comments. If I catch it. They know better. You notice white people ain't saying nothing, right? They know better. Boy. South Africa. Y'all let me down. Not once again. West Africans never done this. West Africans never done this. How much I came at West Africans, how much foul stuff we done said about West Africans. One thing I can say, they never allow a YT person, or they never ran to a YT person to attack Black Americans. Y'all are colonized for real, for real. I had about this much hope for y'all, but until I started seeing these white people comment on my post, I'm like, damn, they feel this comfortable talking to us like that? Only time YT people come at me unless I'm directly dedicated to talk to them. Just like they did when I was talking about Carmelo Anthony. God damn, South Africa.
Yeah, one thing I don't understand about all the Africans that come to my page is like, why can't you admit that I'm better than you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't you admit that Black Americans, they're just more entertaining than you? And like, you know what I'm saying? That's not even a debate. That's facts. Why can't you just admit that, bro?
A few moments later.
When I say that African Americans are better, you guys think that like I'm uplifting white people or any other race? I think I'm better than white people too. I think I'm better than every group on the planet and every individual on the planet. It's not just y'all. So rest assured, everybody can get it.
2 hours later.
I see what you guys are saying. I don't really know the African side, right? I do know the European side. I am mixed. I'm not an immigrant to the United States. I know my mother isn't. I don't know my father. He might have been straight out the boat. Whoever my father is, he has some crazy strong genes because you guys don't even believe that I'm mixed. And then again, I do look fully Black, African, whatever you want to call it. But I ain't gonna lie, gang. Y'all comments got me thinking.
1 day later.
What the fuck? Shit. God damn it. Shit.
Honestly, I'm getting some hate being told to stay out of the conversation because it's not my place, because I am not either Black American or Black South African. My response to that is I'll let the comment section decide on whether or not I can speak on this. I think that mentality is regressive, and I don't think it's healthy, because the problem here in the whole Zulu parade debate, beef, debacle that's going down on the internet is because there is a lack of listening, a lack of educating, and a lack of seeing. I also think why I get it is because, yes, I might have been born and raised in America. However, my dad was born and raised in the KZN, the KwaZulu-Natal province, which is Zululand. My grandfather and my grandparents lived there, grew up there. My grandfather, most of you guys know, if you know me, Grandpa John. We love Grandpa John. I wish he was here right now, but he's still in South Africa right now. But when he was younger, he was actually brought to the Zulu King. He met the Zulu King when he was 3, and he was given a Zulu name. So my grandpa's name is a Zulu name, which was given to him by the Zulu King, which honestly is so fire. So his name is Nsizwa. And if anybody knows Grandpa John, and if anybody that has met him, his love for and his connection to Zulu people Like, it's just that shit, right? Like, he speaks Zulu. Like, so I don't, like, you can be mad all you want and be like, no, you can't be part of the conversation. But I'm like, if I can use my white ass, privileged ass, fucking whatever to speak to people, to be like, hey, Americans, guys, like, listen up. You know what I'm saying? If I can help maybe, like, calm the waters a little bit and be like, guys, maybe you should just, like, listen, then I'm gonna speak on it. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I preach about this all the time. I'm like, it's really important for Americans to get out of the matrix, get out of the bubble of America, because once you, and I'm not saying this because I think I'm better than y'all, because nobody should be thinking anybody is fucking beneath them in 2025, I swear to God. And I've been seeing some weird behavior in the comments, and I've watched a lot of, like, the American videos, like, on this take, and a lot of it, I'm just like, guys, you kind of sound like you're gaslighting. A lot of it sounds like gaslighting, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this is a totally valid discussion, and I think it is a healthy discussion. I think it's healthy that it's being brought up, but I say this a lot. I'm like, I think people need to get out the matrix, get out the bubble. They need to travel. I think this about people all over the world. You need to go travel. I don't know, a year ago, could I speak on this? No. But I've spent the last, like, 6 months, like, balls deep, sorry for my language, like, traveling throughout South Africa, and, like, I have spent, and you guys already know, like, I've spent a lot of time in Zululand. Brothers and sisters, very close friends of mine, people that I love deeply, literally are from there. You think I'm not gonna speak on this shit? Because no, I find it disrespectful as well, because I'm like, no, like, I know what I'm saying, and I think anybody would. I think anybody would, like, if it was their tribe or their culture, you know what I mean? It just happens to be that somebody a long time ago was like, ooh, let's use the word Zulu. And they ran with that, and they fucking ran, and they kept running, and they didn't update they didn't, like, get educated and then, like, update their fucking traditions and shit. And yeah, so as somebody that, like, has immersed themselves in the spaces with the people and the culture, to see the Zulu parade in New Orleans, it looks crazy. It looks wild. And that's why I'm saying, like, put egos and pride aside and just, like, to learn. And I said this in my last video, so I'll keep yapping, because I'm, like, you know, a little professional yapper. Just, like, Google shit, and, you know, and also, like, leave the country, get a passport, go travel, go, like, immerse yourself, figure out, like, where your family comes from, and go, like, deep dive and go explore. You know what I'm saying? And then don't be mad. Like, it's not that serious. Like, I think you should either just pay homage to proper Zulu culture, or just, like, change the name. Because I saw comments that was also like, what's the difference between, like, African Zulu, because they use the word African Zulu, and then American Zulu. And I'm like, there's no such thing as American Zulu. And, like, even if you study and learn the history and, like, New Orleans culture, New Orleans is dope. I've been there. It's a fucking dope city. There is so much culture there. But what I'm saying is, like, we can find a happy medium without it being, like, just coming across as full-on mockery to a culture. And I feel like it's so valid. Also, I wouldn't be so loud about this if I didn't watch, like, some of these videos, guys, that were being made of, like, Americans defending this argument. It's very tone deaf. It's very like, oh, you didn't do your education, you didn't do your research, you're just being defensive. So anyways, that's all.
Do you remember when we told the people of New Orleans that the Zulu parade is offensive to the actual Zulu culture? We even told them that we don't mind them celebrating African culture, but can they please do it respectfully and properly, or change the name of the parade completely? Do you guys remember that? Do you remember when they hurled insults at us? Do you remember when a lady came on here and said, we need to back up because we are messing with people who practice voodoo? New Orleans is flooding 48 days ahead of hurricane season. Where's your voodoo now? I remember when we laughed when she said, we're messing with people who practice voodoo. Have you been to Africa? We sell lightning in bottles. We sell strokes in bottles. Just so that someone can actually get a stroke. We sell that in bottles. Don't do that. Don't.
So what started this mess? Let's rewind. Earlier this year, a few American TikTokers, maybe joking, maybe serious, started poking fun at African traditions, especially those proudly showcased by South Africans. It started with the Zulu parade in New Orleans, a tribute to African culture that sparked a wildfire when some Americans said, "Why are South Africans acting like we stole their culture?" Cue record scratch. South Africans were not having it. They pulled up with receipts, history books, and energy levels usually reserved for World Cup matches. From traditional dances to detailed lectures about Zulu royalty, TikTok wasn't just clapping back. They were educating, entertaining, and flexing African excellence all at once. Then came the duets. South Africans turned American videos into punchlines, calling out ignorance, correcting misconceptions, and doing it all with that classic Mzansi flavor, sarcastic, stylish, and sharp. They didn't just respond, they performed. And let's be honest, no one serves shade in a colorful outfit quite like South Africa. But of course, the Americans clapped back. Some were defensive, others confused, and a few decided to go full petty. There were jokes about accents, electricity, and the classic go-to, "At least we're a first world country." That was the final boss level of delusion. Because if there's one thing South Africans do better than roast meat, it's roast people. And when that comment dropped, South Africans pulled out a full PowerPoint presentation on social inequality in the US, gun violence stats, and how Americans think Africa is one big jungle with Wi-Fi powered by lions. It got even funnier when South Africans started mimicking the American aesthetic. Those exaggerated vlogs that start with, "Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel." But done with South African slang, township backdrops, and the kind of chaotic editing that screams, "I'm doing this for vibes, not views." TikTok was in stitches. And suddenly, people around the world were tuning into this accidental international sitcom. And look, not all Americans were on the wrong side. Plenty jumped in to say, "Yo, we didn't know. That's our bad." They started following South African creators, sharing their content, and genuinely trying to learn. Some even joined in on the dances and trends, showing love to Amapiano, South African street fashion, and heritage. You know, the respectful side of the internet that doesn't make the news. But let's not ignore the underlying issues. This wasn't just about jokes and dances. It exposed something deeper, a massive cultural disconnect. Americans, raised on Hollywood and narrow views of Africa, often see the continent as a charity case, while South Africans are fed up with the condescension. This clash was about pride, identity, and reclaiming the narrative. And TikTok became the unexpected battlefield. And you know what really took it over the top? When African Americans jumped into the ring. Some were defending South Africans, saying, "These are our roots, respect them." Others were like, "Y'all don't even like us in Africa, so what's the point?" That's when things got messy. The comment sections turned into full-on debates about Pan-Africanism, colonization, diaspora unity, and whether Wakanda would have even let half of us in. It was like Twitter-level drama but with TikTok's remix feature. And let's not forget the comedy gold. Some South Africans started rating American cities like they were Airbnb listings. New York, too noisy, smells like hot dog water, 4 out of 10. Or when Americans tried to diss South African cuisine, and got flooded with videos of bunny chow, chakalaka, and borrowers' rolls being grilled like national treasures. One dude tried to drag pap, only to be schooled in the comment section about why it's basically life. Even celebs started weighing in. A few South African musicians made cheeky comments, and some American influencers low-key tried to make peace by suddenly posting themselves dancing to Amapiano. The algorithm didn't know who to boost anymore. It was giving cultural chaos, but make it viral. Now here's the twist. Despite the beef, engagement skyrocketed for both sides. South African creators saw huge spikes in followers, and Americans got a crash course in African culture they probably wouldn't have Googled otherwise. What started as a roast battle turned into a cultural exchange program with side-eyes and memes. So what do we learn from this? 1. Never underestimate South Africans with Wi-Fi and free time. 2. If you're gonna talk smack on the internet, make sure you've done your homework. And 3. Maybe the best way to bring people together is to let them fight it out on TikTok first, then hit the follow button afterward. In the end, the beef might still be grilling, but it's cooking up conversations that matter. And maybe, just maybe, we're all learning to laugh a little, listen a lot, and respect each other's cultures, one duet at a time.